Hi Math Crew. I thought we could use an introduction to how we will use Amplify in class or with our classes this semester. Amplify used to be called Desmos, so if I accidentally say Desmos, please just remember that it's now called Amplify. Right now I'm at student.amplify.com. I think you can also go to learning.amplify.com and get a screen something like this where it gives us the option to either log into Amplify or enter a code shared by an instructor. I'm pretending that I have my account all the way set up and that I just want to go in and access work to do and see what's happening in there. So if I go to login to Amplify, click on the big blue button there, I get all of these options. I will let you know that we don't have Clever, we don't have a district SSO, we don't have a student QR code. I generally go and log in with Amplify. So when I click here, I should be prompted for an email address or a username and a password, and I would have already set those up. So I get a screen like this. I can enter my information from when I set up my account, and I am now logged in as a pretend student. So when I come in here, I can see my name in the corner. I have a little bell with notifications. There is a little key where I can enter a code if I have one. If you are in a Zoom class with me, we will frequently have codes, but other styles of classes, if you're not in a Zoom class, you're probably not going to use these codes. On this kind of home page that we're at, we have some buttons up here at the top. You don't need to worry about the apps button. The to-do button shows a list of activities or assignments that are available to work on. If there is a due date associated, you can see that in the list next to the assignment name, and you can click the blue button to get started on any of those. If you are in more than one class with me, you'll notice that the activities are each labeled with the course number. So it is possible that a student could be in both Math 115 with me and Math 160. And so you'll know which assignments go with which course based on the title of the assignment. For students who are just in one class at a time with me, which is very, very normal, you will see labels for each assignment just like this, but you won't have that mix of different classes all together. If I want to start an assignment, maybe I want to start this Math 095 Unit 1 online, I can click on Start. It says Start My Activity. We won't be doing these with a group, so just click Start the Activity. There's a picture of me. Let's skip over that. Let's find a page where... Okay, let's pretend this is the page we're going to answer about. In Math 095, we have some patterning to work on. So I kind of get the ball rolling with a question just about you. So you type in whatever your answer is, and if it asks you to, you can click Submit. And if you need to edit, you can edit your response. You can keep cruising along. Let's see, if this pattern goes on forever, which dog would occupy the 440th spot in the line? I don't know. Let's pretend I want it to be let me make this bigger. Let's see. Let's pretend I think the 440th dog will be this Labrador looking dog. Then I would type in the Labrador-ish dog. Because this asks us for which dog and how do we know. So fill in your answer. You could also fill in an answer over here in the sketch box if that's your thing, but you have some options. You are also able to upload a file or an image of your work. So if you're doing the work on paper and you want to upload an image of that work instead of typing something out or drawing it on the sketchpad, you could do that. So with an activity like this, you have various ways of entering answers usually. Sometimes I leave hints about how to do things. Sometimes I leave answers, like this is how this should go. If you ever notice that anything that you think is maybe erroneous, has a mistake in it, go ahead and let me know. All right, I'd be glad to take a look at that. Let me cruise on to the end of this assignment. Let's see if this one has a submit key. It says, oh, are you finished with your activity? You can tell I'm done. even though I'm not. I didn't answer all of the questions. All right, and if I do that, you'll notice that that particular assignment for Math 095 is no longer showing up in the to-do list. Even though it's not done, it's not showing up there. To find it again, we would go to past work. All right, Math 095. Oh, here's the thing I just handed in, but I can still reopen it. So if I click open, I can continue the activity. I can work on it further. There's no harm in that at all. Let's see what happens when I go backward. I wanted to get to my home page. There it is. All right. We were on past work. One of these assignments has a little envelope next to its name and due date, and this is for feedback. So if I leave you feedback on an assignment, you're going to know it because there's going to be this little envelope here. Let me open that. If I click on the feedback, this particular activity only had one screen open, and so I just pretended to fill in some feedback on here. If I click on the feedback option in the middle toward the top of the screen, then I'll get this menu or this bar off to the side where I can see any feedback that was put on any of the screens. For activities that we do in Zoom class and for activities that are officially going to be in the gradebook, then I put a fair amount of feedback on there. For things that are practice, if they're labeled practice in their title or extra practice, then I am less likely to put a lot of feedback on those unless you specifically ask for it. Okay, and we'll talk about that as the semester gets rolling. All right, let me close that. And if you want to get back to the home area, if you come up next to the assignment name or the activity name, you can go back to student home. All right, you are going to be in charge of keeping an eye on the to-do page and the past work page. Always watch out for feedback because it's there to help you along. So you want to know what that is. Unfortunately, Amplify won't let you respond directly to that feedback in a way that it would message me. So if you want to respond and get further feedback, you'll have to do it outside of Amplify. So maybe send me an email or talk to me in office hours, student hours, or in class. All right, past work to do. You have the names of the assignments or the activities. You have the due dates. Oh, one last thing. Amplify is separate from Canvas, which is unfortunate. However, I hope that you will be able to tolerate the two different platforms because Amplify is free. And within Amplify, I write the activities in my voice, which is the same voice that you get for the activities that are in Canvas, like the quizzes. So if you've ever been in a class before where the online homework platform uses different language, different style, a different voice than what your instructor uses in class, this should be better because I write the stuff for Amplify, for our activities in there, and I write the stuff that goes on in Canvas. So this is the kind of stuff that we will be doing with Amplify this semester. If you have questions, as always, please reach out to me. I would be glad to try to figure out what's happening. It's not going to be perfect because nothing ever is perfect, but if you see anything that looks like it needs an adjustment or anything seems weird, please just reach out. In the beginning of the semester, I expect this to be a little hiccupy to get used to. But after the first couple weeks, usually things smooth out and things go really well after that. So let me know what you need. Keep in contact. Keep at it little bits at a time.